Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Brandon from Audio Addiction, bringing you a review today. Most times when I do this sort of stuff, I'm actually doing more of a reaction video content. That stuff will continue to come out. I wanted to do a review of these albums, and going further, the process will probably be pretty similar. I will react to it, and I'll post the reaction when the album comes out, but I will do a review early so you guys get a better sneak peek. Two videos too, so it also works out really well. And if you're watching this on the day it releases on Thursday, I am posting an interview with Sales Ahead. They talk about Infinite Void to more of a serious degree, and really excited about that. But I have a little write up that I made of each song, so if I do look down here in my corner, I'm looking at my monitor. So, but yeah, it's been a while since I've done album reviews, and generally I love doing them. It just is very time consuming, and so I feel like this is probably the best way I can do best of both worlds. You get the reaction video, you get the review. So I wanted to try to kind of meet in the middle a little bit. But wanted to say thank you to With Sales Ahead. They did send me this album months in advance, and I probably have listened to this album pretty close to 100 times now at this point. And I wanted to really meticulously critique this album because truly it was such a fun work to listen to from front to back, and I'm so excited for most people to give it a listen because I imagine most of you have not listened to it yet, but I wanted to kind of give a little bit of a starting off point. So Infinite Void comes out this Friday. Very sick. I believe it is the 27th. So if you have not checked it out yet, check the links below. They have CDs, vinyl, shirts, all that sort of stuff. So go show them some love if you can. But the album starts off with Every Day the Sky Falls. I really like this song a lot. I think initially when I first listened to it, I wasn't really sure about it, but every time that I cycled through the album, it just continued to get better and better for me. I really love the nice piano work at the beginning. I believe Sierra did a lot of the piano work on this album, which is really fun. And then also enjoyed the like little bit of nature sounds as well. Kind of immerses you in really quickly. So I love that. But as well as that, I love Sierra's voice. I feel like most people should know that by now at this point. She's got quite a vocal range, and I think not only in this song specifically, but I feel like in the entirety of her album, in the entirety of the album, I think she does a really great job of utilizing all of the sounds, screaming, clean singing, falsetto, harmonies. They did a really great job, and I want to give a shout outs to August, as well as Chris Crummett, the goat, for mix and mastering it respectively. It was very cool to hear that, and they crushed it. But as well as that, really enjoyed the lovely guitar work. I've always really appreciated Joe and Santino's guitar work. They've always been really great guitar players, and I think if anything, this album highlights their skills that much more to an nth degree. So really exciting. As well as that, I also like the ethereal elements as well. It really allows to build off of like a really cool canvas, and I think they do a great job of continuing on with that with some really great bass work from both from Jamie, and then also the drumming from Ryan. I really do feel like they have hit on all cylinders on this album, but it was cool to hear just again from front to back listening experience. I think they did a really great job of highlighting that a ton. As well as that, I like the little breakaway in the last chorus. I thought the divergent melodies was really nice as well too. So I think it adds that nice little layer of depth to the track that I feel like would be remiss if it wasn't in anything else. So really enjoyed that. I think again structurally they have become better songwriters, and I know it took a couple years in between this album and Morning Sun. So I think they've had just a lot more time to be better writers, be better creatives, and I think that starting it off with this song on the record is really nice. And just to close it all out, I love Jamie's inclusion of both cello work as well as violin work. I know that he does that a lot, and I don't know if it's been utilized as much in previous with Sales Ahead stuff, but in this song specifically, it was very nice, and I think I would have hoped for more, not only in this song specifically, but on the album. but I mean, I digress. That happens. But overall, great starting point to the record, and really, really enjoyed this one. I think if you like more of the softer vibes that With Sales Ahead brings, I think this might be a good song for you, certainly. So, very, very cool. So the next one we have on here is Honey featuring our good homies and Pulses. If you have not checked out Pulses, go show them some love. But from the Jet, I really enjoyed the intro portion of the song. It's just really punchy. Yeah, I think they continue that same sort of energy throughout. It was very interesting to hear a little bit about the songwriting aspect of this song with this song featuring Pulses. So you can go check out the interview when that comes out. I don't want to spoil it here, so go check that out. It was really fun. But either way, I also really enjoyed Ryan's drumming in this song. I think just his fill choice in the first verse was super, super nice, super clean. It's something I almost always fixate on going through and listening to this album multiple times. Just really love that. I also really enjoyed the melody work from both Joe and Santino. I think they really shine in this song as well. Great guitar dueling. I think they do a great job of, again, finding that midpoint between both of them. They both come from different backgrounds in terms of their writing styles and guitar styling, but I've always felt like they've found a good middle ground between those 2 points. So absolutely love that. I also couldn't tell, and maybe with Sales Ahead can comment on this, but in the chorus, I feel like there's some like lower backing vocals, or it could just be synth. I can't really. I know that there's something there, and I just can't quite fixate on it. But something really cool, and I think it adds a unique texture to the track. But I'd also say conversely, this song's chorus is like super catchy, and I think that is a thematic thing that you will hear throughout this entire album is that they really know how to put a good chorus together because this one's fun, it's memorable, it's something you're gonna love, and if you haven't listened to the single yet, go check it out. It's really great. As well as that, I also like that they switched up the second chorus as well. They had some really nice harmonies that I felt like the first verse didn't have. So building off of something already good, you love to see it. So very, very fun. As well as that, there's this really cool part at the 2 minutes and 3 second mark, which is when Pulses comes in and kind of switches up the dynamics of the track even that much more so. Just like obviously all of them contributed vocally on this song, which can I feel like can be a lot in theory, but as the song kind of progresses on and as you listen to it multiple times, it starts to become more natural. It feels more like thought out than I think initially perceived. And I even think I said that in my reaction video to Honey, was that I just felt like it was a lot. And now after listening to this album for like 100 times, I can certainly say that it does get better, and I think it becomes more malleable over time, actually. So really enjoy that. And also, as well as that, like multiple listens, you get to pick out different aspects of the song. So when it all comes together, then it makes more sense. So I absolutely love that a ton. And I love that they can all be heard very distinctly. They all have a unique, like, vocal cadence to them that is just really highlighted in this song a ton. So I think Pulses was a great feature. There is another feature on this album that we'll be talking about a little bit later on. If you know the channel, you're probably familiar with who I'm going to be talking about. But yeah, great track. I think out of the 3 singles, I still think the Darting Eyes is probably my favorite. I know What If I Fall just released as well, but that's just like prior to that song coming out. Obviously, that we'll talk about that song a little bit later on. But in terms of the ones when I was writing up the review, Darting Eyes was like top, which is ironic enough and great segue because the next song on the list is Darting Eyes. Probably my favorite song on the album. I would also say probably my favorite intro. I love that like siren, that like anime OST sort of opening to it. It gives me that energy that I need, It's just something really special, inherently special about this song that I love. And every time I go back and listen to it, I just got a big grin on my face because I just love this song so much. But seriously, when the first time this came out, first time I listened to it, did the reaction video for it, I knew this was going to be one of my favorites, and I can assure you, after many times listening to this album, it is still one of my favorite songs off the album. I just love everything from the instrumentations, the vocals, the screaming, the clean singing, the different elements, the breakdown. Like everything about it is just so masterfully done that I think this is such a like they went through this song with like a fine tooth comb, and I appreciate it so much because I think it is super technical, but also at the same time, I think it's very melodically driven. I think it just really works super well with their styling, and I think it's just kind of to me the next evolution of what I felt like what Sails Ahead was doing when this first came out, and I think it is even further cemented after listening to this album that you're getting what you want. Like if you like this song, there are going to be other songs on this album that are in the same vein that is really nice. I really loved Ryan's drumming parts in this song. I think he's got some great rhythm parts in this track, just like the way that he kind of does like the drum rolls to like the cymbal hits to like the toms, just really knows how to make his way around the kit, and I love that. As well as that, the guitar work again, masterfully done by both Joe and Santino. Love the guitar work. I've always really liked it. I always feel a little bit jealous sometimes because I know how good they are at guitar, and I'm just like, damn, these guys are so tight. So I love that, and this song is certainly no exception to that as well. I love Jamie's portion in this song. I feel like he is such an anchor. You know, there's something about his bass playing that just feels so cemented in this song that if without it, it probably wouldn't sound as tight mixed in with Ryan's incredible drumming. So gotta give the unsung credit to Jamie because I think he crushed it on that, and he just adds this cement that I needed, you know? So I love that. I also really enjoyed too that he just kind of opens up, especially like in the openings of some parts where like the chords are drawn out or like the way that the song's kind of structured out, like he adds again this sort of depth to the track that I think is so needed. As well as that, of course, I can't go without mentioning Sierra's vocals, both in the screaming department as well as the cleans. I think she does a great job of highlighting um, both her skills, and I think just listening to her scream for the first time in Murder Mountain, um, I think it just kind of further cements her skills as a vocalist. And I think this one is, again, vocally, in terms of vocal delivery, I would say this is amongst my favorite as well. Just love her, like, great in tonality in the way she says darting eyes in that chorus. I think it just really sends home that sort of message and just really just tugs at the heart. So I love that a ton. Really, really memorable, especially in the chorus again. Really another fantastic chorus, but man, to me, that breakdown section is so iconic now. I'm just going to be remembering that a ton. I remember seeing it live for the first time before it was even announced that it was going to be a song, and that blew my mind. So, getting actually able to hear the song in its full stasis was so nice, and I felt complete, you know? So, again, one of my favorite songs on the album. I could not speak any more highly about this track, but I know I have to move on to we have 13 tracks to get through, so I gotta do it. I gotta do it. But Darting Eyes, check it out if you have not. It's fantastic. But the next track is track 4, and that is Rin. We are gonna get into a smattering of songs that aren't out after swear words. So hopefully you're excited to hear my thoughts on some of those. But Rin is another one that isn't out yet, and this one is super fun. Again, Ryan, man, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what they fed you in the studio, but my God, he stepped it up so much in this record. And I don't want to sound like a simp for Ryan. I mean, I can't be, you know, nothing against people who simping for other people, but I love Ryan's drumming in this track. I think he absolutely crushed it, especially the intro, the way they included those like drum rolls mixed in with some nice tom hits, cymbals, just was chef's kiss. We love it. And I think he again is something that I picked out early on in the listening experience, but I think it wasn't further cemented until later on as I continued to listen and listen to this album that I'm just like, he's such a crucial aspect to some of these songs that that I gotta say it, I gotta say it. So, but yeah, really great. As well as that, I also love the like proggy bit. There's a section between 30 seconds to around the 50-second mark. Really, really nice. I feel like that is going to get heavily understated by the majority of people listening to these songs. So I would really expect you to not expect you, but I would hope that you would listen to at least the between the 30-second mark and 50-second mark if you can. Really, really fun. It was something that just immediately I picked out as soon as I started listening to it, and it's something that I probably won't be able to unhear now. So, really, really nice. I love the different instrumentation layers as well. I think again, very similarly to a lot of their other songs. I think the way that it's mixed and mastered so well, I think allows for those moments to feel bigger or have more punch or drive the song a little bit more. So I love that, and I think they do a great job of this as well. And I think the translation between the chorus to or pre-chorus to chorus was super super cool. And I think it just at first I felt like it was pretty jarring, but I think as I've listened to the songs multiple times, I think it becomes more palatable over time. And I don't want to say that as a diss. I think the transition is really nice, but I think it kind of is something that inherently is that sort of jarring for a reason, jarring on purpose. So I absolutely love that, and I think that people will love it. I just think for me personally, when I first listened to it, I felt like it was pretty jarring, but again, I've listened to this album so many times, I've lost track. So, but as well as that, I also really enjoyed the section between the 1 minute and 24-second mark to around the 1 minute and 43-second mark. They had some really cool guitar work. I think also mixed with some like fun synth as well. I think there is some synth work. I know I did see Sierra post as of yesterday in terms of like some synth work within What If I Fall. So I'd imagine she has some more stuff that she has done throughout the entirety of this record that you can hear a little bit more. So I love that. I'm excited to listen to more of those like behind the scene videos, stuff like that. But really enjoyed that. Bridge is really nice. I think it offers a nice contrast to the song. It has this sort of ethereal nature to it that I think again adds a different dimension, different feel to the song, and I think it changes up the mood in a really nice way too. To me, I think what sells the bridge home for me is Sierra's vocals. I feel like they're so gripping and so real and so raw. And so I absolutely appreciate that. I think to me, it's really truly the standout moment of this song specifically, along with a part I'll be talking about in just a few moments. But I feel like her vocal delivery was so real. There's something real about it, and I really love that. I do think we are saving certainly the best part for last in this song, which I would argue is kind of the crown jewel. They did mention it in the interview, and they did not. I feel like they undersold this to me because I love this. I think they really unleash. Excuse me. See, I'm even getting choked up. I think they unleashed Santino on this last song. I know he did mention that he did a solo, and I know it's this song because damn, it is so fun. I love it. It starts at around the 3 minutes and 14-second mark and basically closes out the song. But man, feels so like Sinister Gates, Avenged Sevenfold type riff, but like even better. No offense to Sinister Gates, you're great, you're a cool dude, but man, my man Santino crushed it. He is such an insane guitar player, and I think just to have them had with sales ahead to have him just do his thing and just rip. I love that because it sends that song off in such a perfect way to end it. Like who doesn't love a good guitar solo? I grew up on Guitar Hero. I grew up on classic rock. Those people do that shit all the time. So for me, it felt well at home with what I love. And I'm just proud. I'm just proud, Santino. I'm proud of you. So I love that. Great closing part to the song. Rain is great. If you have not gone to check it out, go show it some love when it comes out, which is this week. So next one on the list here, we have track 5. I'm going to try not to kill myself with this chair here. I don't know why I decided to leave it right behind me, but hey, we move. But yeah, this track is track 5, Swear Words. This is out now. So if you're not checking that out, go give it a listen. I feel like this song is I don't have as much for this because I do feel like it's pretty straightforward. If you have listened to the song, you kind of know what you're getting into. But I love that this song is very vocally strong out the gate. I would say that this, to me, is amongst some of the favorite vocal parts that I think Sierra has done. There is something inherently, obviously, very special to this song to her. But as well as that, I think that this conveys a lot of really deep emotions. I think if you look at the lyrics and really kind of dissect it, I think a lot of this stuff goes through some really personal stuff, some really deep stuff, and things that I think I've resonated with, and things that I've experienced as of around the same time too. So I appreciate that she is singing with such convictions, singing about stuff that's real, and I know that I mentioned that in Swear the reaction video as well, but truly, I think if anything, listening to this song more and more, I think it just kind of further cemented that. But as well as that, I think that this song is definitely more of a straightforward approach in terms of the instrumentation as well as Sierra's vocals. But I also really enjoyed her inclusion of falsetto in that like pre-chorus. I think it really shows off her range, as I mentioned previously. But I also feel like it is so personal, so you get to hear a little bit of that rawness too. It doesn't feel like it feels on point. Like she's definitely hitting the note, but like there's something like you can feel like the tension, and so really enjoyed that a ton. As well as that, I think this chorus is super catchy. One of the catchiest choruses on the album, certainly by no stretch of the imagination. And I think if it hasn't already gotten stuck in your head, I think it probably will get stuck in your head. So go give it some love if you have not. More specifically, I think the part that confuses me the most, and this is again listening to this album multiple times, uh, it still throws me for a loop now. But the part between 1 minute and 33 seconds, it's like that breakdown section that always throws me. I don't know why, but it's just something about it that I like. I feel like this song almost inherently screams, no pun intended, but like it screams this sort of like clean singing, like 100% cleans, like doing that sort of vibe. It doesn't, to me, right out the gate, feel like, oh, it should be a heavy like have heavy moments in it. And I'm not saying it should not have it. I just, to me, it's like one of those songs that I don't expect it, and I think that's kind of what shocks me about it. But I'm always welcome that it's there. So love that. Go check out Swear Words if you have not. Links down in the description. But we are getting into, man, we're getting into some new ones here, and man, I'm gonna be spilling a little tea here, So not bad tea, good tea. But this next song is track 6, Lemongrab. I will, as I mentioned before, I'm posting the reaction video portion of this review on Friday when the album releases. But they sent me the stream for the album first and foremost. There was no like cutoff on like where the songs are. They all roll into each other. So I'm trying to figure out like the song markings and stuff, and it was very difficult. So I'm sure you will see my troubles trying to figure it all out while I'm recording a video, which is really difficult. So check back later for that video. But either way, Lemongrab, really, really great song. I feel like if you know me, you know the channel, you know I love a good Digitech whammy guitar riff, and I feel like this song, oh, so good. I love a good riff, especially with a Digitech whammy. This was not sponsored by them, but hey, listen, if you want to send one over, I'll gladly take one. But I feel like you could convince me that this song could have been off of their previous album, Morning Sun. It just has that sort of vibe to it, but I feel like it's weird because it kind of straddles that line between like something I could definitely hear off Morning Sun, but I also think conversely it is also something that obviously fits super well in Infinite Void. So it's kind of like in that like really gray area that I love. And there's another song off this album that I feel like does the same sort of thing, but this song specifically, I felt like, wow, this could have been a B-side, or this could have been like a precursor single, or something like that. But I digress. I really enjoy it. I'm not complaining. I love it. I love this song. Especially the first verse of the song. Chef's kiss, so good. I do feel like Ryan is such a driving force in this song specifically as well. Really enjoyed his drumming work. I think it adds this level of like punch and dynamic that is just so well needed, and just rounds out the track that much more. So absolutely love that. However, I think my favorite part of the song was like the last 2 minutes. More specifically, the section between the 2 minutes and 20-second mark to the 2 minutes and 43-second mark. It just is so beautifully put together, so well arranged. And I love the divergent like vocal melodies that they chose in that. Just really nice. And I think again the way that it's layered out and the way that it's like mixed and mastered together, I think also just further cements how much I really enjoy that section of the song. So very cool. And I just think it keeps this song like fun and lively, and just gives it this sort of vibrancy that I really love. Conversely, the last part of the song is very interesting, and I think that's probably why, like, when I first reacted to it, it kind of threw me for a loop, because it kind of feels like an outro, like, or interlude part of the song, but there's no cut to it. So it like goes to like sound off, and then you hear like the clicking in of like the acoustic guitar, and then like they start, and there's no like vocal, there's like no lyrics, it's just melody. But man, when I first listened to this part of the song, I got goosebumps. Like I was like shivering. I was like I felt it. Like that like they didn't even have to convey anything to me like with lyrics. Just vocally it just struck me. There was something really special about this song, and I would imagine, especially if you're so invested in music, I feel like you're gonna have those same sorts of feelings and vibes about that last part of the song, because it's like so hauntingly beautiful. It's like really dark and like a little somber, you know? Like I like wanted to feel like I wanted to cry at the the end of this song, you know? There's just something really emotionally driving about it, and there's nothing being said, and I think that that's just so impressive to me. So I love this song as well. I again, that acoustic switch always flips me upside down a little bit, but once it starts, it's like it's got its hook on me. You know, I'm in a chokehold. You know, so but I love this. This is a great song. I think the transition could have been a little bit better thought out, at least from my perspective. Just because I think it's hard to, if you're listening through it through an album stream, I feel like as a listener, I think you would assume that it's like an interlude or something like that, but don't know where the song cuts off and cuts back in. You know what I mean? So that's just a little tidbit. But yeah, either way, I think it does lead into the next song very well, which is track 7, which is Peach Tea Obituary. This is also a song that isn't out yet, so you get a little sneak peek about what the song's about. But enjoyed that little cheeky intro between Joe and Sierra. It was just really nice, and I think it gives a lot of character to the song. So I just thought it was very cute, and just loved it. You know, I love a little cheeky intro. It's fun, but to me, I feel like the driving force of this song specifically is Jamie. The bass playing on this song is so good. I love it. I love it. And it feels like all of the rest of the members, Joe, Ryan, Sierra, Santino, I feel like they're all building off of what Jamie is working with in the song, and they just accent him so well, and I love that, cuz I feel like there's some songs that bass is not really like the driving force of a song, and this one is just so like mellow and like vibey and stuff, and I think it just lends super well to what they were trying to drive home in this song. So absolutely love it. Really cool structure, and I would hope to hear maybe more of it as they release new releases, whether it be another album, whether it be another EP, more singles, stuff like that in the future. I would love to hear them experiment with this a little bit more, because I think structurally it was really a nice change up, and almost adds almost offers this sort of reprieve to the album, you know? So I definitely appreciate that a ton. And I feel like I would be super remiss if I didn't talk about it. So big kudos to that track. I also love that they put a little swing section in the song. It basically starts at the 1 minute and 30-second mark, and then it ends around the like 1 minute and 44-second mark. It's definitely a nice underrated addition to the track, and I don't think most people are gonna kind of expect that either. And again, this whole album has things I feel like most people will not expect, but that specifically was very fun, and I just kind of loved like jazzy kind of swing kind of vibes of the song. Really, really nice. As well as that, love the chord structure at the 2 minutes and 9 second mark to around the 2 minutes and 30 second mark. It just feels very with Sales Ahead. There's like some chordal structures that I know that this band does that just feels very reminiscent to the types of songs that they create. Like it it felt so homey, right? Like it felt like a song that I've already heard already, but it wasn't. And I think it's just because of the way that they use certain chords, especially between Santino and Joe, that I think just has a memorability to it. So love that. This one is definitely an underrated track, and I think is going to be pretty underrated for most people, I would assume. But hey, listen, I don't want to assume, but you let me know what your favorites are once the album comes out. But the next one on the list is track 8, which is Picture Perfect Pixel. This song, again, very similarly to what I just mentioned in Peach Tea Obituary, I feel like this is quintessential with Sales Ahead. Like, again, this is a song I feel like could have been off Morning Sun as well, and like completely gotten away with that. You know what I mean? And I'm not complaining. Again, second time, not complaining. But I really enjoyed that. I think it's just something really about their like writing style that just evokes what they do, and there's just something like that is just baked in with Sales Ahead that this song feels very specific to what they do. So I absolutely love that. Probably my favorite part was the bridge, which starts at around the 1 minute and 48 second mark, and then goes to around the 2 minutes and 50 second mark. It's just really immaculate. I think it's really well arranged as well. And then as well, they also include a nice like jazz swing section. So I love that Peach Tea and Pixel Perfect Pixel both had some like cool jazzy like swing sort of element to it. Really, really fun. I don't feel like you get to hear that too frequently. So it is always a nice inclusion, and as someone who um, grew up playing some jazz stuff, I love it. Great addition to the track and keeps it fun. So we are going to move it on. As I scroll down my computer a little bit more, we were moving on to track 9, which is What If I Fall. This is out now, so now I could talk about it. I mean, I could talk about it anyway, but now I could talk about it. Now you can listen to it. So I undeniably, unequivocally, any unwords, this is the best song that I think With Sales Ahead has ever done. And I think is probably the best song on this album. And I was a little bit upset when they said that this was going to be one of the songs that they were dropping, because I wanted people to I would want people to react to it, listening to it on the album, like not knowing that this was coming, right? Because let me tell you, I was not expecting this song by any stretch. Like, this song blew me out of the water. And I'm so lucky that I got to hear it before the album dropped, and I got to listen to it a lot more times before the album had come out, and it's still be able to listen to it before the album has come out. But I was absolutely shitting my pants. This song is like so good, and I was so mad I couldn't share it with anybody else. Like, I couldn't tell anybody, I couldn't do anything, and I just wanted to talk about this song, and I knew I couldn't because I respect the code of conduct, But I fucking love this song. I don't think I could. There's no words in the English language that I feel like I could put into a sentence to say how much I love the song. I think it's just such a masterpiece. It's got fun riffs. The vocals are strong. Their instrumental is fun. There's some really cool synth layering. There's like incredible bass work. That like intro is so awesome. I think this could very easily be like an anime OST like intro song, or like a cool like what are those things? Those like anime MV videos. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about anymore, but those videos. If you know what I'm talking about, you know what I'm talking about. But I love this song. I think this is probably one of their best songs that they've done. Just all across the board. I think instrumentally super strong. But as well as that, I think that this has the breakdown itself, I think, if anything, sells the song that well. That breakdown is so gnarly, and just the way that they switch up the rhythm like halfway through the song, and how like again, how driving Ryan is in that like breakdown. Oh, it just makes me so excited. I'm just so pumped, you know, it just makes me so pumped. So it's truly, to me, a work of art. I love this song so much. I don't think there's an amount of superlatives that I could say in this review to say how much I love this song because it's so good. So go check it out if you have not, because it's out now and I can talk about it. So very, very fun, very, very fun. And I would, if there was any song that I think I would ask you to listen to off this album, it would 100% be that song. So please, now you can. So go show it some love. But either way, we are going to move it on to the next one, which is track 10, which is Oblivion. I think if you were sitting in this room here with me and you were listening to this album as I was listening to it, you would probably be thinking, how are they going to follow up What If I Fall on the album? And I give you Oblivion, which is track 10. And still, after going through the process of picking up my brain off the ground and trying to put it back in my head, I listened to this song in the reaction part, and I have continued to listen to the song, and I think they did a fantastic job of following up What If I Fall with this song, which is also really great, and also is really fun and really epic. So go show it some love when it comes out. This is one that I can't spoil for you because it's not out yet, but you can go listen to it when it comes out, and you can let me know. But I also think this is another one of their best songs on the album. I think Ryan's drumming is truly a standout in this song. His use of polyrhythms and his knowledge around the kit is just so unmatched to me. I think that is kind of, I think that to me, that is like one of the strongest elements of this album is how fluid Ryan I think is, you know, and that was not to discount him in Morning Sun. I think his drumming work is really well antiquated to that album, but I think that collectively as a musician group, like I think all of them have gotten so much better. They're so much more talented, and I think that this song is, again, very similarly to What If I Fall, is just a great culmination of their talents and skills into two back-to-back great tracks. So really enjoyed that. Also, as well as that, I think if you are a drummer, you're gonna absolutely love this song. Very proggy, very riffy, great stuff. The chorus is fantastic. I love this chorus as well. Another catchy, fun, aggressive, punchy. I don't know other adjectives I can throw in here, but just a great chorus. First time I heard the breakdown at the 2 minutes and 40-second mark. Again, I think I shit my pants again, twice. I don't know how. It was crazy, but I did. And I love this breakdown. Very unexpected. Especially after What If I Fall's breakdown, but I feel like if anything, that should have given me a better precursor to what I was going to be experiencing in this breakdown, because this breakdown feels very like Callous Dallas Boys-esque, you know? And if you know Callous Dallas Boys, it is like math core to a T. So very, very cool. Loved every second of this song. Again, I don't know how they were able to follow up What If I Fall, but I think they did quite the job. So kudos to you guys. Great track. We are going to move it on to track 11, which is In Search Of, and this one features our good friend Kevin and Poeta. So as I mentioned, somebody you probably are familiar with if you know the channel. I think this song starts off super strong. I really love, again, great footwork from Ryan. Really helps keep the song very interesting, but also light, and I love that. There is this really cool arpeggiated synth in the pre-chorus of the song that just really, I think, further like accentuates that large chorus, and I love that. It's just that little addition of the song to the song that I think just adds this other dimension to it. So I absolutely love that. But I think the creme de la creme of this song is both Kevin and Sierra's vocals together. I think, oh my God, so good. I love a good female male dynamic in a song, and I think that they absolutely crushed it. Kevin's and Sierra's vocals just mesh super well together, and I think if you love good dueling vocals, then this is absolutely the song you should listen to. I think Kevin alone on his own really put a lot of just great energy and emotion into this song, but I also think that Sierra also was able to deliver on that as well, and when they were just mashed up together, just so great. Really love that a ton, and it was just good to hear both of them on the track, because I don't think that Poeta and With Sales Ahead have done like something like this together before. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure. unless my brain's going, which is a possibility, but yeah, I love this song. Really, really great. I feel like this song to me is a little bit more about vocal strength versus instrumentation. While I do like the instrumentation, I almost feel like it takes a little bit of a backseat to the song comparatively to the vocals. I think the vocals is to me is like the showstopper element of this song on the album. So I think if you're looking for a song that has a lot of strong vocals, then I probably would suggest giving this one a listen because it does have that strong vocal prowess to it. So, and it also doesn't seem as crazy. I think if you're expecting like an Oblivion or What If I Fall to, be followed up in some way to that sort of energy, I think you would be going into this song in a not particularly conducive way to listening to it. So I would definitely recommend, again, listening to the album from front to back. I think it makes sense, but I would say if you did come from What If I Fall and Oblivion, I think you would have a lot of questions about the song specifically. I'm not saying that it's not heavy or not like in the post-hardcore lane, but it's not like those songs. You know what I mean? So definitely go check it out still. I'm not saying you shouldn't, but it's very fun. And I really think that it is an interesting kind of leveling off of the energy, which is fine because you need songs that are like that. So very, very nice. The next song on our list is we are getting into the final couple, so going to be very fun. But this next one is track 12, and this one is Catastrophe. I really love the like bit crushed, like tappy guitar melody that starts off the song. Really, really nice. I don't know if I would assume it might be Joe, but it could also be Santino. I know they're both equally as talented on the guitar, so let me know who it is, but I think it's Joe, if I had to guess. I also really enjoyed the bass lines as well. I think Jamie is really, again, another standout member in this song to me specifically, but I also love how they completely shift the track rhythmically at around the 1 minute and 14-second mark, especially in that second chorus, I believe. I think there is like this really cool dynamic change that just adds this like little bit of oomph to that second section of the chorus, as well as the second section of the song. I just think it adds this harder hitting element to the track. So I absolutely love that. And I also really appreciate that main melody that you hear at the beginning of the song. I love how they reintroduce it later on in the like breakdown section of the song to kind of further state that melodic line. Really, really fun. And I think that also highlights their skills as musicians. I think they were able to kind of arrange it in a way that makes sense and is conducive to that. So big ups. Love that a ton. And we are going to move it into actually now a few more tracks. This is the last track. I was reading this really wrong and I forgot I have like a little summary at the end. But this is track 13. This is the last song. This is It Really Is I can read, I swear. Is This Really It? And the first thing that stood out to me was the guitar effects. I just love that it adds this really cool texture to the song and just adds this like ethereal element that has always been, I think, an inclusion of what they've done. But I also feel like to me, it relays it back to the first song. Whatever the sky could fall. I already have the thing messed up already. Every day the sky falls. Sorry, I apparently can't remember words. But yeah, love this a ton. I think it adds this sort of texture to the song that just really adds a fun layer to everything going on. I also really enjoy Sierra's more somber tone in this. I think it adds this unique sense of sadness and this like feel of needing. There's just something grasping about the way that she sings in the song and how it's delivered. And so I really, really enjoyed that. And as well as that, I think the backing vocals also add to that sort of somber element of the track as well too. So also really enjoyed that a ton. And it further delivers on that element that I feel like you would know about this song if you have listened to it. As well as that, I think it also sums up a lot of the feelings and emotions of the album. There's a lot of lyrical content that I personally not that I don't like lyrics, but I'm a music first, lyrics second type person. But as listening to this album so much, you know, those things tend to bleed together so well. And I think that, again, the amount of heartache and the amount of emotional fortitude that this album brings, I think is just so welcomed. You know what I mean? There's something inherently positive about it towards the end, that you don't really feel like you would expect just based off of some of the lyrics. You would assume that it's just going to be like this really sad and somber record, and it is. But I do also think that there is that light at the end of the tunnel. There is something that is going to help propel you forward into the next chapter of your life. So definitely really like that. As well as that, some other things that I really liked about Is This Really It is the 1 minute and 35-second mark. I think that is just so strong, and I think it allows that bridge to encapsulate you that much more. It just allows everything to kind of hit more in the chest, straight on the chest. So really, really enjoyed that a lot, and I think it sums up this album in a really unique and nice way. I was gonna put unique and nice together in one word, which probably wouldn't have not gone out too well. But I like that, and then as well as that, they send off the song in a really gnarly breakdown at the end, just to kind of allow you to fall into the infinite void that they created. Hey, I said this. I said the album title. That's crazy. But anyway, to kind of summarize my thoughts on this, as someone who has kind of been a part of With Sales Ahead's journey for over 7 years, and I feel so grateful that they always continue to come back and show me that love, because I would hope that I am showing that same love in return to what they do, because they're really talented musicians. And maybe it's going to sound like a little bit of simping, because it probably is. I love these guys. These are great people. They make great music, and they definitely deserve to be heard by other people. I probably wouldn't be doing this shit for as long as I've been doing it without people that gave a shit about me early on. And I think With Sales Ahead definitely, holds a special place in my heart as an interviewer. But as well as that, I think looking back on some of their catalogs of their music, I can unequivocally say that this is their best work to date. I think it combines everything that you know and love of With Sales Ahead, from if you've been with them since day one or if you found out about them yesterday. I think that I think they truly, truly, truly found the sound that they were going for. And I do feel like the chains are off. They just are able to be unleashed, and they're able to just do what they want. And this song felt very freeing and very real and raw, but also at the same time, like, very, like, instrumentally challenging, and I love that, because I would hope that this is a marking point for them in their career to always continue to push, always continue to do better. Because I think when you are willing to put yourself under that sort of pressure to put out a really fantastic record, you get something like this, and I would be stupid to not include them on my albums of the year this year, because this is for sure albums of the year contention, like, without a doubt. I have been listening to this album more than probably anybody should, and that is for good reason, because I definitely feel like this album is worth your time, worth your listen. It is not terribly long. I think it's like 50 minutes if I had to guess the running time. But, like, go show it some love, seriously, because it really truly is worth it. And I loved every second of it, from the moment I put it on, the moment I listened to it, all the way to the end. And I think, if anything, I've grown to love it that much more as the time has gone on. And so, again, wanted to give a huge shout outs to With Sales Ahead. I couldn't be more grateful for them allowing me to listen to Infinite Void early, and to care enough to want to know my thoughts on their work. At the end of the day, music is very subjective, and I never want to feel like I am being super biased, even though I feel like in some portions of this review I am a little biased, but they're also my, like, close friends. So I feel like there is a little bit of, there has to be a little bit of bias. But love this band, love this album. If you loved my review of this, come check back later on for the reaction video later this week. If you are watching this back to back, that would be great. But yeah, really fantastic album. Please, 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 please go pick it up if you have the money to do it. Check the links below. If anything, please give it a share when it comes out. That costs you $0. please go show them some love. They also are going out on tour with Space Weather. Check their Instagram. They have all of the touring dates that they're going to be going to. I think they're mostly going to like the Southwest, or yeah, I guess Southwest, Southeast, whatever. Just check the links. I'm on the spot right now. So, but go check them out. If they are coming to your city, please go see them live. I imagine they're going to be playing a lot of new stuff off this album. So be the first to see it. It's going to be very fun. But if you also enjoyed this review, let me know down in the comments what you think. Would love to know, especially when it comes out. But as well as that, please check out all the other stuff. As I mentioned at the top of this video, an interview with Saleshead is coming out on Thursday, and then the reaction live portion of this video is coming out on Friday. So go check those both out. Would be really grateful. And as well as that, if you just found out about my channel, make sure to subscribe. It helps you keep up to date. I do everything from like post-hardcore, K-pop, all that sort of stuff. I do it all. This is Audio Addiction. We do it all. So come hang out. Would love to see you, whether we're streaming, doing reviews, or any type of content. It'd be awesome to be a part of the community and would love to have you. So if you also enjoy these long form videos, also let me know, because they are very time consuming, but I love doing them. So let me know down in the comments. But thank you for watching. I hope to catch you in the next video. Peace.